Get started. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today, I've got the man himself, WelshFriar, joining me. How are you?
What's up? Yeah, well, not the best at the moment after the news, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely not optimal news. For those of you who are not aware of the news we're talking about, Blake Snell agreed to sign a 5-year contract with the LA Dodgers with a ton of deferred money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's devastating. As a Padre fan, it's devastating. A man that we all loved. We he showed passion to us. We showed passion to him, and then just to throw it all away for some extra money, it's frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yeah, and a lot of fans are saying we wanted Blake Snell back. I personally, while I didn't see it happen, this is the one place I did not want him to go.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's obvious they're the ones that gave him the most money. So yeah, the deferral is probably the bit that's annoying me the most. It's just it's scapegoating the luxury tax and all that. It's so frustrating. But yeah, I wouldn't be as mad with Blake if he didn't defer the money, but he knows exactly what he's doing. So yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, and honestly, like if this deferred money thing keeps going on, I think that's something that the next CBA, whenever that ends up being, is going to have to address because how is this sustainable? Like, give me your opinion. Do you think this is sustainable for success?
I think this is one of those things in sports that should be banned as soon as it's like found out. This happens in all sports. Teams find ways of teams find loopholes, and then as soon as they find it, it should be banned straight away. No doubt about it. But for some reason, Rob Manfred's letting it happen, and yeah, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it because it's working. And players, if they give them the right amount of money, they'll do it. So yeah.
Yeah, and with the signing bonus is $52 million. With all of that, his contract goes down from an annual of about 36 million to 26 million. Like
Mm.
if we're seeing the failures of not getting rid of this deferral system, like there it is on paper right there.
Yeah, this they're gonna keep doing it. They're gonna keep doing it for as long as they can. Whether Manfred will ban it or not, I have no idea. Obviously, well, I'm saying this as a Padre fan now, but I think there is a bit of bias towards the Dodgers as they are such a marketable team. So maybe they won't, um, because of that. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. And the tough part is like, because a lot of big name players are going to get contracts like this because teams know their worth, but at the same time, teams are not just thinking about this season, they're also thinking about the years ahead. And it's really a complicated thing that needs more of a deep dive than just this one case?
Yeah, 100%. I want to know when the next teams are going to start doing it. When are the Yankees going to start doing it? Who knows, the Braves, the Mets, all of those teams, when are they going to start doing it? If they're going to start doing it.
You
Um,
know, the
you
interesting thing
know,
is, sorry, I don't mean to talk over you, but the Nationals have been doing this for years.
hmm, yeah, you
But
cut out a little bit there.
yeah. Um, the one thing I will say about Snell himself is like if you're thinking in the grand scheme of what that team needed, they needed like a big name starting pitcher, and everyone thought it was going to be Max Fried, but
Yeah.
here
Yeah,
they are.
so there's still so many guys now on the market that we can hopefully look out for, of course, the big one being Roki Sasaki. Um, but yeah, I mean, in a way, I think it was an overpay. I thought, he's an inconsistent pitcher. You may get the Cy Young Blakes now, or you may get this Blake Snell who gives up, what, 7 walks in one game kind of guy. So, I think that's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, the Dodgers are just throwing around cash at the moment. Who knows? They might sign Sasaki as well. They might be in for Soto. There's a lot of money in that team. There's a lot of money in that city as well.
Yeah, that is true. As though I know we were watching the Divine Sports Gospel stream, and they brought up a point that I wanted to bring up. They mentioned Mark Pryor, the Dodgers pitching coach, and their whole pitching philosophy. The amount of guys on that team that have undergone some kind of elbow procedure or have suffered some kind of elbow or shoulder injury in the last year is astonishing. So for
Yeah,
Snell,
that's true. It's almost like with the Padres a couple of years ago when we had, was it Larry Rothschild, was that his name?
oh
The
God, don't
old
remind me.
Yankees pitching coach.
uh,
Yeah, pitchers were going down like flies. And I'm led to believe that was due to just the overworking of off-speed pitches or throwing too many sliders kind of thing. Will that happen to Snell?
Um, I believe it was the slider thing because Rothschild's thing was a slider. Um, I th
Yeah.
the worry that I have as a fan of baseball for Blake Snell is he's going to a team with literally the worst track record for pitcher health. I don't think they've had a single pitcher make a they didn't have a single pitcher make a full season of starts this year, and I don't think they had one last year.
Yeah, but I mean, when that amount of money's in there, does he really care too much about it? These are the questions you kind of got to ask. Maybe he does, but I know, and he's quite. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's quite an injury-prone pitcher anyway, I believe, from what I can remember with his time at the Padres.
It was
So,
mostly in 21, but it was the hip. I'm pretty sure it was his hip. It wasn't really
mm,
any arm
yeah,
things, as far as I remember. But that's the
mm,
concern because with the Rays, he fought through some arm stuff. And this year with the Giants, he just didn't pitch for like until June because he signed so late. So he had to ramp up. Wonder if there is
yeah,
an arm injury there that is. Now, I don't wish injuries on anyone, but I'm wondering if there is something in those mechanics or in that repertoire that is more conducive to injury that is a concern for Snell, especially going to that team.
mm. Yeah, I mean, last year was obviously, I don't think last year was an accurate representation of who he is as a pitcher. He didn't get the whole spring training and then going, into the season getting the full warm up basically. So I think maybe the Dodgers are going off of the Cy Young version of himself the previous year. But yeah, again, looking at the injury. I have no idea what's en route for him at the moment. Now he'll have the full spring training, getting to know his pitching coaches, all of that. But yeah, this could be a big factor with his 5 years with the Dodgers now.
Yeah. And it's kind of a shame because he was a big time favorite here with San Diego. So I'm sure Padres fans
Yeah,
are
Padre fans loved
taking
him.
this really
Uh,
well. I'm sure, not really.
yeah. Mm. I'm led to believe like he got a standing ovation by Padre fans when he returned as a Giant. People loved him here. I loved him when he was with the Giants. When he threw that no-hitter, I was absolutely
Um,
buzzing for him. I was so happy
yeah.
for him. But yeah, now don't know if I have the same opinions.
Yeah, things change, but depends on how he pitches against the
Mm,
Padres. That's my stance on the matter.
yeah, hopefully we can watch a Tatis nuke off him in that first game.
Oh, I'm waiting for that as well. Well, Tom, WelshFriar, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate that.
That's all good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. For those of you watching, go follow Tom on Twitter. I'll link it down below. And thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye, everyone.